The first question is explain what evidence-based prevention programming is and why it is important to use evidence-based programming versus other types of programming. Evidence-based programs are available to help the community-based organizations that has been tested in controlled settings that has been proven to be effective. So evidence-based programming preventions have been proven and tested to be effective. And then describe prevention programs that target the following children and adolescents. For children and adolescents, I think that one program that really stood out to me were family-based preventions approaches, adolescents, substance abuse. They provide the parents with knowledge and skills on how to keep their children away from substance abuse. So they're educating parents on how and what to do to prevent their children from trying substance abuse or just leading away from it in general, to not even thinking of trying it because they're educated on the effects that it could have on them growing up. And then for prevention programs that target college students, I did one that I found interesting to me was the school-based prevention for college students, because school-based prevention focuses on the attempts to develop and test evidence based on approaches to adolescents drug abuse prevention. So they tend to lecture students about the danger and long-term consequences of substance abuse and use. I feel like that's very important for college students. I mean, I feel like once you get to college, there's been students that have already tried substances, but I mean, there might be some that may not, but it's still like to inform them about the long-term consequences. I feel like it's still important. And maybe if they're in the early term of abusing it and you educate them, they'll be like, oh my goodness, like, hey, am I abusing it? Or I don't know, just kind of lecturing them about the effects and the danger of it is still important, regardless or not if they've tried already. Prevention programs that target the military and their families was the CADCA 7 strategies for effective community change. The strategies include providing information, building skills, providing social support, reducing barriers, and enhancing access, change in consequences / incentives after the physical design of the environment, and then change policy and rules. So that was kind of one for military and families. I don't know. Mainly though, it has stated that no single policy change will magically stop the misuse of opioids, alcohol, and marijuana. Or just now program can really eliminate it. These people have to want. It's a want. They want to do better for themselves and be able to change. But these are strategies that can help them get there. And then for Um, prevention programs that target the following in older adults. For older adults, some preventions I had found were universal preventions, selective preventions, and indicated preventions. The one that I really found interesting was the indicated preventions program, mainly because it targets older people that have a high risk for developing substance abuse disorders or mental illness. So I found this one very important because it's related to dual disorders. So, co-occurring disorders, which is kind of highly likely that if they have one, they could have another disorder included with either substance abuse. They could have a little starting problem with a certain mental health disorder like depression. Or if they're depressed, that their depression could lead into a substance abuse disorder as well. So I think it is super important for this one for older adults that there's preventions that include to treat both substance abuse and mental disorders as well, because I find it important because mainly that there's a possibility they could have one or the other, or one that feeds off the other and starts to lead into a problem, but these both need to be treated at the same time. So I felt like this program was very like interesting because it does help both, because you can't treat only substance abuse if you do have a mental health disorder as well, because then you're just going to kind of keep going back and forth, and they both need to be treated at the same time to get rid of both and get help for both. I feel like kind of all of these programs were like that. I mean, universal prevention programs targets the general population of older adults with or without specific risk factors for developing substance abuse, misuse, or health problems. Selective programs target older people who are at high risk for developing problems with substance use or mental well-being. So I feel like all three of the programs are still related to substance abuse and mental health disorders as well.